2020 escapee from California.
What part?
We were in Northern California up near Redding.
Yeah.
Our vote is 0, because of the southern part. But my question is, and I love the way you handled Florida in the COVID crisis, so thank you. But my question is the other night you had the debate as an ex-California escapee. I couldn't hardly handle the lies that was going on from the other side. And I'm curious, why did that debate happen? Like, why were you put against Newsom? There's a lot of people that are saying that Biden's going to back out and Newsom's going to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think,
worried about that.
yes,
So,
I think that's part of it.
And my second follow-up would be, how are you going to be able, your campaign, handle attacks like that? Can you somehow mark the lie with the truth in your campaign? I mean, how are you going to...
Well, I think that the problem with what Newsom was doing was I don't think his lies were believable. I mean, I think you just tell the truth, but when he's saying things like people aren't leaving California, when he's saying that their taxes are lower than Florida, when he's saying that they don't have a problem with crime, people just don't believe that because they see the stuff. And I had to show the map of San Francisco with all the poop on it because that's what's happening, and people know that. So I think he came across as being somebody that wasn't believable. And look, at the end of the day, when you're dealing with this, people either trust you or you don't. And how you come across in that respect, I think, is there. And like with me, I have a track record of I told people I do things I did. Now, how did it come about? Came about because Newsom has been attacking Florida for years. Like, I haven't even paid any attention to him, but he's just constantly tweeting, and he basically will just he'll further these bogus left-wing narratives that get put out there about different. Anytime Florida does anything, corporate media, will smear it and do that other stuff, and like COVID, everything since then, education, and so Hannity was interviewing him, and he's like, all right, well, why don't you debate him if you're so? He said, I'll do it within 24 hours. And so then Hannity asked me this summer on the air, at first I thought, I'm like, well, he hasn't thrown his hat in the ring. I've got the primary to worry about. But then I thought about it, he is trying to run. We all see that. Biden, a lot of Democrats want to remove Biden. I don't know that Biden wants to step down, but I do think that's all kind of happening. So I thought it was useful because I wanted the American people to see if you like Bidenomics, then you will love Newsonomics or Harris. I mean, this is like taking Biden on steroids, which I think would be a disaster for this country. So we wanted people to see that. But then we also had the situation is, look, I'm running, I'm fighting for media attention. And if I can get 90 minutes on national TV, and they ended up having, just on the cable network, they had 5.4 million people watch that. It was a better debate than the Republican primary debates have been. That's just the truth. So I wanted to show that, and I wanted to be able to articulate and basically have a national platform where people who are honest observers, we showed leftism fails, freedom works. And that is the debate for this country going forward. Do we want to impose the California model nationally? That will accelerate this country's decline. And I think people in New Hampshire see this because you see people that flee from places like Massachusetts and from the bad policies to come here, just like I see it in Florida. Florida represents a model for the revival of the nation because we've outperformed the country on all these key metrics, education, low crime, all that stuff. So that's important to, I think, show what's going forward. But look, the left, when their policies fail because all they have left to do is lie. And so when they're lying like that, that's a sign of strength. I didn't have to say anything that wasn't true. I mean, what I said is just the facts. In fact, Hannity was putting up the stats on there that were showing the truth. And he was trying to act like that wasn't the case. So, yeah, I mean, that's just the nature of it, and we do. But I'll debate anyone. Look, Donald Trump is not willing to debate. I mean, you have to ask yourself why. Why can't you just stand up on the stage for 2 hours and articulate? He owes it to Granite Staters to be able to stand up there and tell you why he should get a third bite at the apple. What's going to be different this time than happened in 2020? How is he a better candidate? Will he admit any mistakes? I don't think so. He hasn't ever been. What has he learned? How would he do things differently so that we don't repeat some of the things like we did with Fauci or the BLM riots. You know, he was just touting an endorsement from Black Lives Matter on his social media, and then he said it in the speech. You had some guy that did it, and Donald Trump said he was honored to have the support of BLM. BLM burned down cities in this country. I would not be honored to have that support. In fact, in Florida, we called out the National Guard when we saw what was going on in Minneapolis. We didn't let our cities burn down in Florida, yet he didn't do anything as president to stop the BLM riots. So he should be here debating. He should be willing to stand up on the stage, and I think our voters have to make a decision. You know, how do we win, and how do we get all this stuff done? And nobody is entitled to be nominated. I can tell you that. Yes, ma'am.
How do you intend to get DEI out of the military?
How do I intend to get DEI out of the military? Very simple. Day one as Commander-in-Chief, I'm going to take it, rip it out, and throw it in the trash can. It's going to be gone. And here's the thing. As Commander-in-Chief, you have the authority to do that. And this has been something that's been imposed. Obama started kind of the politicization of the military. I don't think Trump didn't support it, but he didn't really have control over his defense secretaries, and so it kept going under Trump. And then it's on steroids now under Biden, and that's one of the reasons recruiting is so low. The only basis for advancement in the military is merit. You promote based on merit, and that's what we want to do, and that's what we're going to do when I become president.